Welcome, everybody, to episode 48 of Disney with the Ducks. We are coming to you live from around the country tonight from Duck Studios. And I'm your host for the night, John Kral. And I've got with me Lonnie G.
Hello, everybody.
Mean Gene.
Howdy.
And Jody.
Hello, everyone.
All right. Well, I hope everybody's about to have a really good weekend. We've got the end of the year coming up, so we're recording this on the 30th of December. So we're about to wrap up 2022, which, as I think all of our listeners probably know, was our first year as Disney with the Ducks. So we met just about a year ago at this time. So that's a fun anniversary coming up. But what I want to talk about is, going into 2023, what are you guys really looking forward to with the start of a new year? Lonnie, what's on the horizon for you that you're excited about?
Well, John, this year I'm excited. My son and his family are moving up to Arkansas, actually in the middle of January. So usually my grandson, he's in New Orleans, so I don't get to see him as much as I like to. Well, he'll be living actually pretty close to me now, so get my hands on him and let him terrorize my puppies. So I'm really looking forward to him moving up here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
good stuff.
And I love seeing the videos of your grandson running around. It's fun when you show those.
Oh yeah, he's a. We miss him already, so we can't wait for him to come on down here.
Yeah, that's great. Gene, what about you? What's 2023 hold for you?
Yeah, I'm excited. My wife, her business is moving from the big city across the river, Shreveport, to Bossier City, where we live. And we're in the middle of painting it and just getting everything ready. And I'm excited for her for it. I'm not materially involved in the business, but I do a lot of errands and I do, doing stuff with all. She's really excited about it. It's expanding. It's probably twice the space. Expanding what she's carrying in her shop. I'm just really excited because she's excited about it. And, but after the holidays, we'll kind of get the move. She'll be in there and she can just kind of move forward with it. I'm excited about that.
That's really cool, Gene. I mean, just the fact that she's able to expand that much and business is good and a small business like that in your community is getting supported. That's pretty sweet.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, Jody, what about you?
I am excited for a couple different things. I'm excited that and scared that I will have a driver in the household somewhat in the near future, which makes me excited that I don't have to do all the drop-offs and pickups, but also freaks me out that I don't have to do all the drop-offs and pickups. So that's both terrifying and exciting. And I have to say I'm pretty excited about our plans for this year. We've got some fun vacations. We're going to New Mexico for spring break. We've got our big welcome home trip and our Disney Wish trip coming up, and the kids were super excited about that when they found out at Christmas. So I don't know, just little things that add up to the big stuff. I'm excited all about it.
That's good
awesome.
stuff.
That's awesome.
God, the driver would scare me. So with me, one of my oldest daughter is going to be starting high school in September of 23. So that, Jody, is, I think, a lot like the driving thing. I'm very excited for her, but I'm also scared and nervous and don't know what to do. So we've got that end of the spectrum, but we've also got our 4-year-old is going to be starting kindergarten in the fall next year. So 2023 has a lot of good stuff going on for our kids. And, with me in terms of running and stuff, I took a lot of this year off because of injuries suffered during the marathon training last year and the marathon race itself. And some poor decisions made on a basketball court in 20-degree weather with my oldest daughter. So this year has been a lot of recovery, and I'm hoping to get back into regular running in the new year here. So taking the next day off of any workouts, and we'll start on Sunday with hopefully with a run. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But also, what else is going to be amazing? So the national semis are tomorrow for the college football, and Michigan is playing TCU. So, we will 100% move on to the championship game.
100%, huh?
Yep, 100%. And what's great is this is going to be released after the game, so I could either look like Nostradamus or just another one of those idiots who doesn't know what he's talking about. But no, and we might even be playing the Ohio State Buckeyes in the championship game if they can handle Georgia. So it's 23 is going to be off to an exciting start one way or the other. with the Michigan Wolverines more than likely playing in the national championship.
I like that confidence.
For the second year in a row.
Time.
Wait, no, last year we lost in the semi. Darn. But yeah, 2 playoffs in a row though.
Playoffs?
Okay. Well, tonight we are going to talk about EPCOT, but not just the park itself, but specifically about World Showcase and what countries we think could be added into World Showcase. Now, we're not considering things like how much space it's going to take up in the park or what the cost would be, because that's a Bob Iger problem. But what countries to add is a Disney fan problem. So we're going to have that discussion this evening. But first, before we do that, let's remind all our listeners what the 11 countries in EPCOT are. So I think, Gene, you were going to walk through all those.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was. So
Gene,
the 11.
Hold on, Gene. Wait, before you go.
Okay.
So you're coming in from World Showcase. All right, You're coming in from the front of EPCOT. Right, you're coming into World Showcase. Which direction would you go, and why is it left? The right answer.
That is too funny because I always go left. Always.
Perfect.
Always.
There you go.
Always.
You got street cred. You got EPCOT cred with me now.
Yeah.
What about if you're coming in from the International Gateway?
Well, that's different.
That's a whole different direction, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's
It
is.
Yeah.
With that one, you got to go to France first.
You do have to go to France.
Yeah, of course.
I'll get you.
And you can make your way to get some fish and chips right in that.
Yeah.
If you
could
go
that.
left, you're going to fish and chips. So you're good.
Yeah. But no, Lonnie, that is a very important question that I think leads to a lot more arguments than it really should. But I like to say I go right because I like to go to Canada and then the UK and France. But my wife always tells me not only that I'm wrong saying we should go right, but that I'm wrong in that we never go right and we always go left because she likes to go the Mexico way.
Mm-hmm. Katie is wise. You
Yes.
married up. Listen to her.
She is, but I swear I love going to the right, but apparently I don't. So
You just think you do.
Right, yeah.
So Gene,
Lonnie and Gene,
walk
go
us
ahead,
through, man. What are you doing? You're coming in. Give us those 11 countries.
All right. So I mean, it's not the order of going to left because I just.
Oh,
Jesus
quit. I was just
the bait and switch. For you guys that are not watching, Gene just left the podcast. He's about to talk and he's like, I'm out.
He's like, you know what? No, I just can't do it anymore.
He's not going to read off of Disney's PR site and tell us like about the International Food and Butterfly Festival, what they're serving this year at the booth of Morocco.
The South America booth.
Oh, poor Gene.
Well, yeah. Here he comes.
Oh, there he is.
He comes back.
And I was just joking when I said Gene's going to give it to us. What? Go ahead, sir.
And of course, the US of A. No, those are the 11 countries of that.
Perfect.
No. Actually, I don't know what happened, but you missed it. You want me to go through them again? Because
yes, we would love for you to tell us them again.
Canada, of course, China, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Morocco, which, funny enough, was added in 1984. Norway, added in 1988. The United Kingdom, where we, of course, we like to get fish and chips, and of course, the good old US of A.
Oh, so you went alphabetical. I was a little confused there, and how you were going through them.
Yeah, well, that's how you pull them up. I guess it come alphabetically listed on the website. So I guess that's what
you're talking about on the website.
I said you're coming in, you're going left, man. You should have started with Mexico. Come on, bro.
Obviously, I just bit my tongue. Obviously, I know you. If you go left, is Mexico.
You speak with forked tongue. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. All you heathens got the devil's nectar during the marathon. People handed you margaritas. Obviously, I know where that is. I like the restaurant in there, the little boat, the Three Caballeros, the boat ride, love it. I think alphabetically. I have a very analytical mind. You guys know this.
All right, Gene, here's a pop question for you. Which country is next to Mexico? If you continue to go that direction.
If you continue to go that direction is come on, man.
Well, it's in alphabetical order, Gene, so I thought your mind works in the way.
It's Norway.
There you go, buddy.
Good job, Gene.
I knew he had
I really had to think about it. What's funny enough, I've eaten in the restaurant in Norway several times.
Several.
More than once.
Wow.
I think twice, maybe 3 times. But I would never say, "Hey, let's go out and get some Viking food." I would never say that to anybody.
Right.
But I was on the meal plan. I ate as much food as I wanted, and I ate a lot of it.
And
I'm not sure that that's where I would choose to go on my meal plan when I could eat as much food as I wanted to. But good for you, Gene.
Well,
they had the princesses, though, right?
The princesses, yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, not for Gene, probably more for his daughter, but still.
She wasn't with us, but
okay, it was for Gene. But
no, it was 3 families. We had a Disney planner. I had no say in this. I just went where they told me to go. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Akashush. The pronunciation always gets me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
me too.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
I'm sorry to get the
it's not worth going to, I don't think, to be honest. Maybe that's too hot of a take for tonight, but
I had no idea I was going to be tested that I was going to be quizzed tonight, that I was going to be put in the hot seat. But hey, you know what?
You rose to the occasion. You rose to the occasion, man. I am pleased.
We are very proud of you, Gene.
Yep.
Way to use your Jedi mind tricks.
You handled it well. All right. So what we're going to do tonight, I mentioned it earlier, we're going to pick some countries to talk about that we think should be added and what fun, activities, foods, whatever could be brought into the World Showcase. So Jody, do you have any countries that you're thinking of that you think should be added?
This was really challenging. So first I looked at what countries were represented, and then I looked at what continents were represented, because there's a lot of heavy influence from Europe and Asia, which is all fine and grand. Like there's wonderful countries, and there's plenty of other countries that I would love to add from Europe. I think would be great additions. For example, I think Spain would be really cool. Greece could be pretty cool. I mean, not that Serbia would get there, but I would mind if Serbia was there. But there's some really phenomenal countries in Europe that are not represented. But I think because there's already such a high concentration of European countries, we need to look elsewhere. Then I was thinking,
I know what continent you're thinking of.
Yeah, do you?
I do.
Do you, Gene?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was thinking about okay, Asia already has some. We've got Japan and China. I mean, I think India would have been really cool, but again, got to cross that off the list because there are already lots of representation. So then I went way off the beaten path. And then I was like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we did something with the Antarctica? But I'm like, no, that wouldn't work because, what food and what would you do? But then I was like, hold on, I've got an asterisk for this. I think they should make an Antarctica pavilion at Animal Kingdom. So I know that's not our topic tonight, but I think that's where it should go. It should be its own continent. And because we already have Africa and Asia over there, we can make Antarctica, and it could be all not frozen like the movie, but like some sort of ride with getting cold, and you can learn about penguins. And anyway, okay, enough about that. That's not what we're talking about. So then that brought me to Gene. Where did that bring me to?
I'm guessing the continent that has no representation, that needs representation, but I don't know what specific country you might be thinking of.
Well, I kind of was all over the map. So I wanted something from Africa, but then again, I was thinking there's a whole Africa section in Animal Kingdom. So let's totally go with something that's not represented. So I went with something from South America, right?
Uh-oh.
Now, here's the problem.
They got steak there.
Here's the problem. South America is huge and has a ton of countries, and they all have some unique things with population and food and language. They all have some unique offer, and I haven't been to any of these countries, so I can't say like, I think one's better than the other. But because of my love and passion of soccer, I chose Brazil. Brazil, I think, may be the best known for people. So there may be a comfort level for people to go and visit it. It's got carnival, it's got food, it's got, the lots of bright colors and characteristics. I just thought that may be the one that people would be most interested in, not saying that the other countries aren't great, but that they may feel a desire to go and visit. What do you guys think?
It was number one on my list too.
Yeah, you took mine.
Yeah. So it was, and basically the same reasons, because Africa.
We're done.
We're done, yeah. But no, because I was thinking almost the same way you were, Jody. Like, what continents? Like, okay, Africa, they have Morocco, but it's like, is that really representative of the whole of Africa?
No.
So maybe we add in, another country from Africa. And I'm like, well, South America doesn't have any at all representation. And then kind of the same thing. Like, I grew up watching the Brazilian soccer team win the '94 World Cup and all this stuff, right? And so I'm like, that's kind of where my mind went to. And then you got Carnival, and you can have a lot of different themes around that. Plus, any restaurant that has a man walking around with a sword with a bunch of meats on it, I'm all about it. So I want to see a Brazilian steakhouse in EPCOT.
Disney de Brazil.
Flip it over, bro. Keep it on green.
Yeah, you don't ever put that thing on red.
Don't hit the salad bar. Don't waste your time.
For the wussies.
Yeah,
salad, it's a filler. I don't want it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get my money's worth out of that once we add the Brazil Pavilion in and get that restaurant going. But
all right, so because our minds were all kind of going the same direction, why don't you guys tell me reasons why you chose Brazil and why you thought it would be a good choice?
Well, I'll jump on and say it. I think it's you look at the architecture, right? And there's so many different places. Brazil's broken up into what they call states instead, right? But I think the Carnival, as they say, would be fantastic. I mean, you have a section over that. Let's do all of men will be over there. That's cool. We could do an Amazon River attraction is one thing I was thinking about as well. So a boat ride around, right? Budget is not an option for us, right? So let's do something like that. Also, I mean, if we have it far enough in the back, we can have kind of like a little mountainous range where we have, Christ the Redeemer statue, kind of like smaller up there. So when I went through the list of things that you look at Brazil, it's so diverse, right? The continent is really big, but so many things you can do there. In fact, when I was doing my research and I pulled up like the top 99 attractions for tourist sites in Brazil, there's so many things that we can add to it that you can say, hey, let's put this in this pavilion. So, and I kind of went back and forth, kind of like John. I'm like, yeah, I would like to see more Africa. Yes, we have Morocco, but Africa is so big, so diverse. We can do so many different things, maybe more South African. But to your point, Jody, that's over in Animal Kingdom, right? So I thought Brazil was just for the beauty of it, the colors, the excitement, what we can do. Can you imagine a cavalcade that has for the real Carnival just coming through every now and then? I think it's just, that'd be great. I'll take it.
Yeah. So, okay. I think we all have a lot of our minds went right to Brazil there.
Not mine.
Oh, Gene. All right. So Gene, what country are you going to want to add?
Good day, mate. I mean, Australia.
I knew it.
That's on my list too.
I have so many good things. So first of all, blooming onions. Second of all, wings, because Outback has the very best wings in the wide world. Okay. Third,
the Tuamba pasta.
Boomerangs. Right. Boomerangs. There. I mean, so at all the different pavilions, you see people doing different things. People celebrating that, Aboriginal craft, making boomerangs, maybe teaching kids, maybe with plastic ones or rubber ones, teaching how to throw them, things like that. That would be fun. That would be fun for me as an adult. I think that'd be cool. Why not just some didgeridoos? Man, those are cool.
Wait, is that the thing that round?
Yeah.
So okay. Cool. Man, I love those.
Kangaroos, Tasmanian devils. There's so many different things. Oh, it's so great. And I know
isn't that the wrong? Wait, isn't that not Disney?
No,
isn't that a different?
It is.
I'm not talking about the Tasmanian devil. Tasmanian devils. It's an actual animal. I know.
Do they go?
They do. They do, in fact, do that. My dog, I think, is a Tasmanian devil, part Tasmanian devil. But so actually, technically, they're not from Australia. They're from Tasmania, but close enough, right? It's I think it's part of the country. The only thing is I would want to make sure that there's no kind of spider season, because if you know anything about spider season, that's no, I don't want no part of that at Disney.
No.
But I think that there's so many good reasons why. Somebody could say, could pull out their pocket knife, and somebody could say, "That's not a knife. This is a knife." Something like that. Yeah. So cool. So many great things to do with it.
And you could even have Crocodile Dundee narrate some of the shows or something.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Hugh Jackman, Chris Pine, Pratt, Evans, Hemsworth. All the Hemsworths, get them involved. There's so many great Australians. Margot Robbie. I mean, it'd be great.
And you could play that Men Down Under song.
Yeah. What? I forgot about that.
I mean, that could just be playing on a loop. Great. No, because Australia was on my list too, G.
And people don't know what Vegemite is. Sell Vegemite in the store. It'd be great.
Yeah. No, it would be awesome.
A whole restaurant with nothing but Vegemite.
Nothing but
no. It's gonna be throw another shrimp on the, and then it's gonna have Ken and Barbie there. Yeah, it's gonna have a Barbie doll, and it's gonna be themed.
And Margot Robbie is actually playing Barbie in the movie, and she's Australian. Perfect. Wow, it's full circle.
And so the other thing we could do too is have like a replica building of the Sydney Opera House or Sydney Harbor, sure. in the harbor there.
The one that would fly over and Soarin' over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we can have a Finding Nemo. Let's move the attraction over there because I mean, look, hey, Wallaby Way. Come on now.
There you go.
And you can redo something else over there. There we go.
Yeah.
Disney does it on Point Break, but didn't they go to Australia to surf? The big wave. Yeah. See, I mean, so many possibilities.
Yeah.
Budget's not an option, so they can buy the rights to it, and they can buy
only sell Fosters because it's Australian for beer.
Right.
So perfect. Gee, that's a good one. I like it. All right, Lonnie, what do you got?
I mean, that was it, actually. I gave you Jody. Jody did it. I mean, I came in with my mind set on one thing. I feel like I let everyone down, the audience down. I had my mind set on number one, like I said, something from Africa. We got that. I gave the Brazil. So I'm done. It's a wrap. I'm just here for eye candy and ear candy.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I was going to say another one that I was thinking was Poland. Because we don't really have an Eastern European country. I think pierogies are delicious. So that was a big factor in me putting Poland on the list. Punchkis are one of my all-time favorite foods. They're the most delicious thing you'll ever eat. Especially living so close to a big Polish population, we get very good ones. So on Fat Tuesday, that's my thing. But I think we should have a restaurant that serves just like kielbasas and pierogies, all types of Polish food. And what we're going to do there is we're going to have Fat Tuesday every day. So you're going to be able to get punchkis there every day. It's going to be amazing. There'll be jelly ones, which, aren't the best. You got to go with the custard. It's personal opinion for me, but that's what we're going to push at the restaurant.
So instead of the old downtown Disney where they had a New Year's Eve every night, you're going to have Fat Tuesday every day?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's going to be amazing. But it's going to be awesome. And I like the architecture in Poland. I like that they've kind of got that European feel, but then there's some Gothic stuff mixed in. So I think, you go for something like that. It's going to be similar to the other European countries from that aspect. But then, you got a lot of food made out of potatoes more so, I think, than the other ones. Yeah. So, we could even have like Potato Land. Remember from the Mickey?
Yes, from the Mickey shorts.
Because of all the potatoes.
Yes.
I don't know how we're going to loop this in, but we're going to have to. And then we'll have, obviously, the Polish Eagle kind of this there. He'll be walking around.
Could him and Sam Eagle get into like a little fist cut?
They're going to have fights, yeah.
They got it, right?
Yeah.
Because Sam Eagle will tell him,
Yeah. But how's that work if two NATO allies are fighting? What's the rest of the country's going to do?
Ooh, I think I just have to watch.
I'm just going to send it out. I'll be at the Carnival in Brazil, so I don't even know. I think eagle on eagle violence is just at an all-time high now, so I don't even want to be part of it.
I'll be selling popcorn.
So I think all of us kind of referenced Africa needs more representation in World Showcase. So were you guys thinking a specific country, or is there specific traditions or anything that you'd want to include?
I thought of two in particular, just because they're the ones that I'm most familiar with because of my father's travels. I thought of both Kenya and South Africa. Mm-hmm. Again, because he's been there a bunch of times. South Africa has a fantastic wine region, and they also have Victoria Falls and a bunch of the stuff. I think people were, South Africa had the World Cup a couple of years ago. I think a lot of people know South Africa, but again, that's not a great representation of the entire continent. I mean, it's really big and quite diverse. I've also heard that Tanzania is supposed to be absolutely beautiful and has great safari and things like that. But I don't know a lot about it. So I think it'd be hard to just choose one. I mean, it's like saying California and Florida are the same. I mean, it's two different states, one United States, but they're incredibly different. So I think it'd be really hard to choose which part of Africa do you highlight, because they are so diverse and so different, with different cultures and beliefs and food and everything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, to Jody's point, I mean, you can just look at it and say, okay, I want to do something from Egypt, right? You're like, oh, there's so many things you could do there, right? I mean, it's just that same ride we talked about for the Amazon. You could do one an hour ride, right? It's just so many things you can do, and the continent, to your point, Joy, is so diverse, so big. You could just go in a million different directions. I think it'll be fun to kind of be the Imagineers coming up with how to represent it properly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't think they could. It's like you said, there's just so many different cultures, so many different, so much diversity. I don't know if there's a way to represent the whole continent, fairly, but there's so many neat things, Yeah. Not that I've ever been. My wife actually.
Almost that you could have a walkthrough of different pockets of different areas, the eastern region, the northern region, the southern. I mean, I again, that's not fair because you're not talking about every single country in the continent, but you could almost talk about regionally what's different. Kind of like in the States, we talk about the East Coast, the West Coast, the South, the Midwest. Kind of that same philosophy, and have different experiences like that. But yeah, I think food wise, there's so many interesting choices there. And I think we're kind of spoiled that we have the wonderful Animal Kingdom Lodge that has wonderful food from Sanaa and oh my gosh, what is the
Boma?
Boma?
Boma, yeah. I mean, there's just great opportunities to try foods there that you wouldn't get a chance to try. So that's also one of the reasons why I was like, well, they do. There is some. It's just not in World Showcase.
Jody, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna tag on with you on that one, because it's amazing the amount of people that don't realize how diverse Africa is, right? I mean, we talked about Morocco. John mentioned it being part of it, and we talked about Egypt and all that. A lot of times people think, oh, it's like a desert, right? But it's not. There's certain parts of deserts, but it's so diverse across the literally, just as you get up into northern Africa, all the places that they can actually kind of represent in this new pavilion. So I think it'll be great to have something that just shows so much of it, so you can say, it's more than what you just see on TV when they're showing a lion out there hunting in a safari or something like that, right? So I think overall it'll be and yes, Animal Kingdom does a great job with the foods and things of that nature, but so many restaurants we can do.
Oh yeah,
additional restaurants there would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things too, Lonnie, would be like bringing a lot more of that experience to people, right? Because that's kind of what Epcot's for. You'd mentioned a lot of people look at it and say, okay, it's just a safari or whatever. But, highlighting some of those other aspects would be something really, I think, in line with the vision that Walt had for Epcot originally, with bringing awareness, I guess, to other people and why we would have all the countries and that type of thing. So I think that'd be a great idea.
And throw a couple of pyramids up there, a Sphinx, isn't Black Adam? Can we get that from DC? Throw him up there. He was around Africa in different places. I mean, let's throw that in there. I mean, Madagascar, right? They got the hissing cockroaches. Oh. Get some of those in that bad boy. I mean, let's get all kind of stuff up in there, man.
Yeah.
Let's make it
Madagascar.
Happen.
I didn't even think about that with all this, but you could do a lot of fun stuff with that.
Yeah, we just need to get that from the rights to that from.
I mean, no budget.
Yeah, let's buy it.
Get that.
Who is that? Is that Universal?
The zebra, the hippo.
Well, DreamWorks.
Yeah, DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got that. What's his name? King Julian or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He likes to move it. Him.
Yeah.
We would love that.
Yeah, we need to get that guy in there. He'll lead the parades and everything.
Yeah. Meerkats. Let's get them all in there, man. I want it.
Oh man,
I want all of that.
All of it.
All right. So now that we've talked about what we want to add, let's go through a little bit of what we like about the countries that are already there. So let's talk about our favorite restaurant in Epcot. And Jody, we know you love food, so I'm really excited to hear your answer.
Well, I feel like every time we're in Epcot at some sort of festival and I find myself sampling among the festival booths and maybe not sitting down and having a full meal at very many of the restaurants. Like, I've never been to Beer Garden. I've never been to Le Cellier. I've never been to, I have gone to the restaurant in Japan for Marathon Weekend because it's, good food before Marathon Weekend. I've never been to any of the Italy food places, via Napoli or any of them. So I don't know. I'm not sure that I could tell you my favorite restaurant because the fish and chips. I mean, that's one of the few things that I normally always eat, which is pathetic because I'm the big foodie. I will say I have great expectations of eating at quite a few of them. What's the new fancy schmancy one?
Takumi Thai?
Yes.
I want to go there too.
I would love to go there, but that's going to cost a mortgage. So maybe not anytime soon.
Especially with a family of 7.
Yeah. Yes.
Not to be confused with the Kumite.
No.
It's the restaurant is compared to the fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Just want to make sure nobody just thinks that they go there and they start fighting. Right? I mean, that's just, if fighting in a restaurant, that's usually Waffle House. So I just wanted to make sure we put that up there.
Okay, Lonnie, I'm glad you brought that up and clarified for the audience, because our listener was going to be confused. So
yes, I'm glad you fixed that.
It's my gift.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Gene, what's your favorite place to grab some food?
Mine. I mean, there's a couple that I really like, but my favorite one is La Cantina de San Angel. It's my favorite. There's a few reasons why you can munch on Mexican favorites and it's close to the World Showcase Lagoon. I personally like the tacos de barbacoa. I mean, there's empanadas, guacamole. Really, all jokes aside, I know y'all are making jokes about me.
Nobody's saying a word, Gene.
But I mean, I really do like that restaurant, and it's just a place that my family and I've gone several times. Not the only place in Epcot I've eaten. Obviously, I like fish and chips. Other places, they've got draft beers, even though I don't drink alcohol. Margaritas, I don't partake of the devil's nectar, but they do have Mexican sodas along with churros, and they even have some traditional fruit popsicles that are really nice. So, can you
clarify for our listeners which of so there's the little tiny Mexican place that is like the window that's outside.
Yeah.
Then there's the one that you go in the pyramid, and then there's the other one on the lake. So which of the 3 are you talking about?
Why you want to do this to me? Because that really does confuse me, because I've eaten at the other ones, but I know this one La Cantina de San Angel, that is the inside restaurant. I don't know the name. I mean,
it's in the pyramid. You're right. I mean, that's the one.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I obviously I know.
I mean, because you mentioned the boat ride earlier, so I'm assuming that's the one, because you could actually see the boat going by.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. I'm actually trying to cheat here and look it up, but I did not get my map pulled up quick enough.
You cheat?
No, I mean, I know it's odd to think about.
But that's the thing I love about Mexico. I mean, a lot of times that little, I don't even know the name of the little stand that serves guac and chips and maybe an empanada. I don't know. That one's always fun to just stop and grab something, and there's no place to sit or anything, but it's that food's actually pretty good right there. So, and then the one that's on the
La Hacienda de San Angel.
Yes, there you go. Good job, Gene.
Choza de Margarita, La Cantina de San Angel. So they're all something of San Angel. One is La Cantina, one is Hacienda, one is San Angel Inn. So I think the one I did make a mistake. The one in the pavilion, or rather in the pyramid, is San Angel Inn.
Oh, okay.
I screwed up.
We ate at the other one, La Hacienda de San Angel, and we didn't like it at all. It was nowhere near the level of quality we get at like local Mexican places in Detroit.
And that's the one that's on the water, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's a beautiful view. I think they have dining packages where you can watch the fireworks show and everything, but I wouldn't eat there again. was kind of bummed because I was really excited.
I've eaten at both of the Chinese restaurants, the sit down Nine Dragons, and as well as the walk up Lotus Blossom. Those are good. My daughter's favorite food is chicken fried rice. So at some point, it doesn't matter if we've just eaten. A lot of times we'll end up stopping there for a minute.
I've never eaten at the Chinese restaurants there at all, except for during, Jody, you mentioned like the festivals. I always get food from their stands, but for some reason we've just never gone to Nine Dragons.
You know, Jody made a good point when she said that, you know, usually when you go around, there's a festival going on. So it's easier to just grab things at the different booths and try different things as you're going around, other than going and kind of sitting down in a restaurant. So, you know, EPCOT's one of those unique places where you can do just both, right? There's always something, there's always a booth. You know, so it doesn't surprise when you say you haven't eaten in a lot of different restaurants, because you just really don't need to. You kind of just could go around and, you know, and just grab something from every different country you see or pavilion. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But I will say this. So I couple of restaurants, and I think Gene just hit it. I really like Via Napoli. At one point, the service was not good, but I think that's just something as part of, you know, being in that country, right, in Italy, or for that pavilion. That service used to be kind of suspect, but I do like the pieces there. But I always say one of the favorites for me is Nine Dragons, because number one, you can always get a reservation and you can walk up there as well, right? And the food's pretty good and there's a great view, right? So if you're sitting by the window, you can see the fireworks just sitting inside there as well. And the food is solid. So as much as I like the fish and chips in the United Kingdom and all that kind of good stuff, and I kind of tend to lean to that one if I'm want something quick and I don't have a reservation. Because look, last time we were there in May, we tried to get into Via Napoli without a reservation. It was 2 hours.
Wow.
So we just left out there and went straight to Nine Dragons and grabbed something from there, right? So I'm going to go with Nine Dragons as my favorite one there.
Well, I'm going to try Via Napoli for Princess Weekend with my daughter. She and I have not gone, and we thought we might as well give it a try. So I will let you all know.
I think you will like it. I think you'll like it. Huge pieces.
I don't love Italian food. It's on my list of favorites.
Really?
Yeah. It's fine. It's just not my favorite. So, but I'm like, we've never gone. We should try it. So we're going to try it.
Well, you have to try it now because, you know, you're professional podcasters. You have to eat it every day.
Who's gonna pay that bill?
I write it off on your taxes.
There we go.
It's part of the business
podcast. Yeah, a podcast. Yeah. Write it off.
What about you, John? What restaurant do you love in World Showcase?
So I'm torn between two. Beer Garden, I love because it's just so fun. The kids can get up and dance. They have the long table. When we had a smaller family, is like you'd get put up with someone else and you kind of get to talk to other people and get to know them a little bit. That's kind of fun. And the food's really good. My wife is German. Like her dad lived in Germany and then came to the US. So she was the first generation born here from her family. And so we just love like German things in general. So yeah, it's always fun for us to go in there, but Teppanyto is my favorite. It's like a hibachi place in Japan, and it is so good. We've never had any problems with service. Food quality is always high. I mean, it's basic, right? It's shrimp, steak, or chicken on a hibachi grill.
Or salmon. They have salmon.
Oh yeah, they do have salmon. Yep. And so, but they put on the show. You know, if you've ever been to a hibachi place, it's so fun. The guys really know what they're doing. They stand there, they cook it in front of you, they flip things around, they make like a choo-choo train out of onions with steam coming out of them. It's a really fun experience. But I just really like that one because for some reason our family, everybody has something to eat there. Nobody complains. It's almost like Disney magic kicking in and everyone getting along for a half hour.
I will be there on Friday evening.
This Friday? Oh yeah, because of a marathon. Oh man, I'm jealous for a lot of reasons.
Tim and I went there last year before the half and realized it was perfect. It was carbs and lean protein. It was just what you needed. It was a little bit of vegetable. And it was the perfect thing before the half. So we're doing it again this year. So
awesome. Yeah, because you get the little bit of rice, gives you some carbs, and then everything else is perfect. But yeah,
although I've never been to Beer Garden, and that always seems like such a fun experience.
Yeah, I've never been either.
That it's very heavy. I would not eat that on a race weekend at night before race. No. But it is it's just cool. It's like buffet style, or at least it was when we went last. And you walk up and it's as much as you can eat, and they sell German beers there. So if you like a lot of people like the Schofferhofer grapefruit, so they have that there you can get the big boot. So yeah, it's just a fun restaurant, but we really enjoy that one too.
I think the kids would definitely be entertained there. There's a lot going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one of the best things about it, because they have a live band playing like what's it called?
The drums?
No, the thing.
Yeah, the
accordion.
Okay, fun fact. My grandfather from Serbia had an accordion, and my sister got it and has it and can play it. Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
Yeah.
So wait, at your family gatherings, do you play piano and your sister play accordion? And it's like
no, my sister was
band?
a music major and is very, very good. And she married somebody who plays the drums. So no, I would be very much ashamed and embarrassed to attempt to play anything in front of them.
No. This idea is forming in my head now. We have a family band. Your brother-in-law is going to drum. Your sister will play the accordion. You got the piano. This is all coming together.
My niece plays the trombone.
Perfect. Everybody needs a little brass in their band, right?
It'd be great. It'd be great.
Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be beautiful.
Either rock a polka out Mary band. Had a little lamb.
Yeah, we're gonna have a polka band. Oh, I love it. Okay. I'm very excited about that. Okay. So just talking in general then about the countries in EPCOT. What's your favorite pavilion that if you go to EPCOT World Showcase and you don't visit this country, you're gonna be mad? Lonnie, which one is that country for you?
That's a good one. I'm going to go with France. Number one, I love the desserts that they have back there at the stand, as well as when you get the little frozen drinks there. And they have one of my favorite rides there, the Remy ride. So a ratatouille. So I think France is a must for me. And you get
France
some macaroons.
It's so fun. It's so like pretty. They have the Beauty and the Beast topiary out there and everything. It's just, God, it is really nice. I like it.
And the new France, how they expanded it, is really phenomenal. I think they've just taken that and they plussed it, and it really, the detail in that back section is just stunning. I mean, the way the buildings look and everything, it's just
I love the music. I love just the feel, the vibe, you know?
Yeah. Gene, I'm the same way. I could listen to that France Pavilion background music all day and be happy.
Yeah.
I really like that French restaurant too. I mean, it's not, it's really rich, and you can't pronounce any of the things on there. And it's not the normal food that we eat anyway. But it's good. It's really neat, rich.
Is that place like? So I've always wanted to go there too, but
there's two front.
Monsieur Paul is upstairs, right? And
right. Tim and I've eaten there. That was phenomenal. Paul?
Yeah. It was. Could you take kids in there?
I would not.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that's why we don't go to nice places.
Yeah. But we did the pairing with the wine, and we were there for hours. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it was really. It was just the two of us. So.
But it was really good.
It was very, very good. Very good.
Yeah, it seems like they would have good.
But what's the one downstairs? What is that?
Chef de France. I think.
Oh yeah, Chef de France. I'm like, I know it has I was going to say Le Petit Français, but that's not right. So.
Well, there's that patisserie place that Lonnie, you mentioned, like some of the treats there. Mm-hmm. Man, that like macaroon ice cream sandwich is my all-time, probably my all-time favorite dessert anywhere in the world.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah.
But that
Lonnie, I agree with you. France may be my favorite, like must do. And now coming through World Showcase most of the time, I tend to come through that entrance as opposed to the front entrance. Mm-hmm. So it's right there and it's like a must do. I used to absolutely love Mexico, and that's my son's favorite ride in all of Epcot is the Three Caballeros, but it's gotten a little rowdy, and the line to the tequila bar inside gets really long now. And then I feel like that whole pavilion has just become party zone. And I don't love that sometimes when I've got the kids with us, but it depends on what time you get there. I mean, we were there one time, we opened the pavilion. He got to wear the sombrero and like shake the maracas. That was super fun. But I still love the pavilion. I love all the art inside and all the, it's beautiful, but sometimes it can get a little much for me.
Well, I mean, you kick off drinking around the world in Mexico usually if you're coming in from the front, right? So that kind of starts it off, which is the line and the rowdiness. And like they say, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah. And with 12 or 11 countries, you got to spread that out. I mean, maybe these 25-year-olds can do it, but I don't think
I'm not built for that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not built for that.
I'm quality over quantity anymore.
Yeah. And we were there on a Saturday night, and let me just say, to your point, Jody, Saturday night, EPCOT, it's kind of like EPCOT after dark. Yeah. I don't recommend having kids there either, especially if it's, we've had one particular issue with somebody who was was in the middle of a drinking around the world, and their language was very coarse.
Yes, we've experienced that also.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ugh. Not to take it down. Still love EPCOT.
No, EPCOT is awesome, but yeah, you're right. You do definitely have to plan it out if you're bringing little kids with you, or if you just don't want to be around all that. Because I mean, even me, I don't want to be around a bunch of drunk kids yelling either in the middle of my Disney trip. So,
one thing to think about though, we haven't addressed at all, is the new experience at EPCOT and the World Showcase. That could be real. Have you all read up on this?
No.
Well, you should, because it is Ducktail.
Oh yeah.
It used to be the Phineas and Ferb, and it was Perry the Platypus, and you would find the little clues and things would happen. They have changed it to DuckTales now. I have heard mixed reviews on it, so we'll see. You have to have the app now and use the Play Disney app or whichever that is to get it to work. But I still think that's fun for kids to be engaged in different things while in EPCOT, maybe learn something. So yeah, hopefully whatever glitches and little system things they've had that weren't so smooth gets ironed out. But yeah, DuckTale theme. Yay.
That's awesome. I forgot about that. Because that was recent, right?
Very, very recent. Last month.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So Jody, what's your favorite pavilion to go to in EPCOT?
I agree with Lonnie. It's probably France. And I probably wouldn't have said that before they did the expansion of the pavilion. But now that they've added all that new space, it's just it really is just the ambiance, this feel, and the smell. Everything about it is really nice. So, and it's got a whole nother ride now. I don't know. It's got space, and I really enjoy it. I personally think some of the other pavilions could use an actual attraction. I think we've talked about this before. Like I love the oh my gosh, what was the movie? It's my daughter's favorite. Silencio Bruno. Luca. Luca. Yeah. I think that could be a really cool thing in Italy. Like, to me, the Italy pavilion, for being Italy, is such a letdown. Like, I don't feel like there's much there, and kind of the Germany pavilion too. There's just a lot you could do in both those places. So I just think that some of those places need a little pixie dust. But
all right, that's a fair point, though.
France is so far above everybody else.
All right, what about Gene? Where are you going to go? What country?
So we always go to China. I've said this before. My daughter's Chinese, so we always, that's the closest we've come since we've gone to get her. But we enjoy seeing, some of the different things that they have there, and that they have all the connecting little shops that all, it's one, but it looks like you're going from room to room. That's fun. We also like Japan. There was a lady that used to make things out of I think it was glass. I'm not sure what it was, but she had scissors and she talked while she was doing it, and we would go and watch that. And she's not there anymore, but that was just a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that. But those two are the ones that I don't feel like I've gone, that I've been there if I don't go to those countries.
All right, and for me, one of them you mentioned, Gene. It's Japan. Like I love Teppanydo. I mentioned that earlier. The Katsura Grill, which is their quick service. It's kind of across the little walkway area from Teppanydo. They have great quick service food. So we go there a lot. There's also a little sushi stand. There's a little sake stand down there. So it has a lot to offer. And then when you go in those two shops they have, actually there might be one big one connected, but I mean, you can get things like the green tea Kit Kats that are delicious. And I've never seen them in the US before. And you can get stuff like that, or you can go get Nintendo toys. I think they sell a lot of Mario stuff, just things that originated in Japan. And then they have this little museum of cuteness, like the whole cute culture, and it's really cool to walk through that. It's like stuff like Hello Kitty type things. So that's fun to see too, especially, as a dad of little girls, they love that stuff. So taking them through there is always fun. And the drummers that they have out there that play the giant drums. And I think they went away for a while, but I thought I'd heard they're back. But that was one of the fun things too.
Yeah, they're very entertaining.
Yeah, it's just so fun. It's like you get to experience all that culture and everything. And it's really cool to me. And Japan's a culture that I'm just very interested in anyway. So I like being able to see that there.
Now, I will make a confession and a little asterisk to my response. When I was a kid, and I was probably 6th or 7th grade, we went to Disney, and I fell head over heels in love with the Morocco Pavilion, like obsessed with it. I thought it was so unique, probably because it was so unique and different than anything that I'd seen. I absolutely loved it, and then became totally infatuated with Morocco, and then learned all about it. And, I always have to walk around that pavilion, and I love all the little nooks and crannies back there. And I don't spend an absorbent amount of time in there, but I do really enjoy walking through it. And I think it's just absolutely beautiful back in that area. But as a kid, it was my absolute favorite. Like I had to go there first thing. It was my first stop all the time.
That's one of my favorites too, because of the food and the architecture. You're right. It's just beautiful.
I walked past that one time, and there are some belly dancers. A lot of men were standing out there, but I didn't stop because my wife was with me. But Morocco is nice.
I do find the belly dancers pretty, entertaining. That's quite talent. I couldn't do that. So,
I it's like the architecture. It's just, it's beautiful.
It is.
And the food there is so good too. They have spice road table, and they have a quick service place. So there's some good food options there too that are delicious.
Absolutely.
All right. So we talked a lot about EPCOT, and now I think it's time to move on to our favorite subject, which is quacking up with the ducks. So, Gene, what's going on with you this week? You got anything fun? Any jokes?
Man, I don't have a joke, man, but I came across this information that I really want to share with y'all. Did you guys know that leather is rated according to its texture? Did you know that?
No.
No, I didn't either. And that's why I wanted to share it with you. I think this is information you can use. So cows with abundant water sources, they typically have really soft hides. So they're rated A. But so the extreme opposite of that, those are cows that their hides are, they live in hot, dry climates. They're typically dehydrated.
And I was going to start to mention, well, they're probably derated because of the bug bites and whatnot. But you got me. That was funny.
It's not a joke. It's just good information.
Just good information.
Dehydrated. Oh, speaking of hydration, hopefully you guys have your plans in place for hydrating during the marathon in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Lonnie, can you make us laugh?
Probably not. But what did the janitor say when he jumped out the closet? Supplies.
John, your laugh there was awesome.
The sad part is I know that joke, and I've actually used it before.
On the show?
No, not on the show. I don't.
Okay, I would say, man, I'm sorry, man. But John, great minds think alike.
They do. Yep. Jody.
Well, marathon weekend is right around the corner, and I find myself being extra cautious about ice and steps and everything. So, sometimes I feel like I just don't trust the stairs because they're always up to something.
Mm-hmm. Sure are.
Oh boy. Oh man. So, the year is coming to an end here, right? So it's got me thinking about time, and I was like, what's the problem with eating a clock? It's very time consuming. But Jody, I had an elevator one too. My elevator joke, yeah, but I didn't tell it because then you gave an elevator joke.
I didn't give an elevator joke. I gave a stair joke.
Oh, I mean a stair joke. I'm sorry. Mine was a stair joke.
Did you not listen to me?
No, I did. But I was gonna say I'm really afraid of elevators, so I'm taking steps to avoid it.
But pretty good too.
It was.
That is really good.
I was proud of myself, but then I got self-conscious because you had the stair joke too.
Oh, you could have used it. I wouldn't have cared. I'm a good sharer. I used to watch Sesame Street.
Sharing is
Oh boy. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Make sure you head over to our Facebook page and take part in some of the fun discussions that we have around Disney parks, Disney movies, general questions, random pictures of ducks, anything like that. Just come on over.
Let us know what pavilion you would add, because there's been some great debate here and we all kind of fell on the same answer, but I'm curious what everyone else has to say.
No, we did not all fall on the same answer.
Okay, except for Gene. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 of us went to South America. But funny enough, the one who wanted the South America pavilion did not pick a South American country.
He sounded so angry when he said it too. He was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man. All right. Well, from all of us at the Ducks, Kwaharini, and of course, go blue.
How about the Cowboys?
Would you like to tell them how people could follow us?
No, I'd rather just stay in the dark, Lonnie. We have followers. The paparazzi are going to be on us. I don't need that level of attention.
Give your home address.
Yeah, if you guys are ever in the Macomb Township area of Michigan, come on over. You can find me there, or you can find all of us on Facebook at Disney with the Ducks, which is a group that we have out there. We're also on Twitter at Disney with the D1. You can follow us on Instagram at Disney with the Ducks and TikTok. So
TikTok.
Yeah. So come join in the fun, and make sure you're giving us a 5-star review on your podcatcher of choice, because it helps other people find us. So we need to feed the algorithm. So if you could help us do that, that would be amazing.
And we need to feed our children with all the money we make from this podcast.
You get paid?
You don't? Just joking.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And we hope you have a fantastic New Year.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
One more
It's
thing.
late, and I'm
So
sleeping.
as I look, Lonnie, I kind of look like Reed Richards in this light.
You do.
Mr. Fantastic.
You do.
Stretchy hands.
I actually thought it was him, and then I saw your name. Yeah.
But then I remembered Mr. Richards knows all the countries in the World Showcase. I'm sorry, Jody's tired. Let's roll.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. I know. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Well, I don't know if you're just joking, because I don't. I just don't know what to say about you anymore. Sure. I mean, I'm gonna hear Junior talking about his favorite one.
I got several actually.
South America.
Ha
It
ha.
never gets old.
Favorite restaurant.
Gets old.